I recall one of the gospel readings when Jesus came to the synagogue. It should be Luke chapter 4. When Jesus came into the synagogue after reading from the prophets, the eyes of the people were on Jesus, on what to say. When I stood up here and I look at you, all your eyes are on me. Everybody is looking at me. What is he going to say? And like Jesus, I'm going to say something. Do not be distracted. Do not be distracted. Distraction is maybe a thing or someone who prevents someone from giving a full attention to something or to a goal. Distraction. Someone, something that prevents a person from giving a full attention to a goal or to something. Gospel reading. They rebuked him, telling him to be silent. The crowd in the gospel, they rebuke him. Who is him? The blind man, Bartimaeus. They said they rebuked him and told him to keep quiet. Distractions could be internal or external. Distraction could come from you and from me. Internal distraction. The blind man in the gospel knows he has a challenge to see. He doesn't see. He is blind. He wasn't comfortable with his situation. He resolved to look for a solution. He was not ashamed to look for a solution. In this case, the blind man has conquered his own distraction. He knows that he is blind. He looks for a solution. He was not ashamed to go and seek for a solution. The distraction that might come from him, and that is an internal distraction. External distraction is the crowd. The crowd. When he noticed that it was Jesus passing by, he began to cry, "Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me. Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me." And people, the crowd, rebuked him. They are telling him, keep quiet. External distraction, the crowd. And we are telling you today, do not be distracted. The people, the crowd, remember, all of them were seeing. They weren't blind. The crowd, the people. And here is a blind man who is seeking for a solution to see. How do we deal with the less privileged? Those you think that you are better off. He was blind, resolved to seek for a solution, and began to seek for the solution. It was the people that see. The blind man knows what he is suffering. He knows his challenges. We used to say, it is you that is wearing the shoe knows where it pinches you. It is not the crowd. You know your challenges. It is not the crowd. You know what is disturbing you. It is not the crowd. First of all, have you conquered your own distraction? Recall, internal distraction or external. Internal distraction is for you to know that I have a challenge. I have a goal to achieve. How do I go about it? You have to conquer your own distraction. I want to seek for a solution. I don't want to be ashamed. The blind man wasn't comfortable with his blindness. Many of us are comfortable with our blindness. I recall one of the stories. St. Matthew, the relic of St. Matthew in a certain town was being carried about. And it happened that when the relics was being carried about, the people that are on the road, like the blind man in the gospel, they get miracle. Those who are lame, those who are blind. And one blind man was sitting by the roadside, and he asked, as the blind man in the gospel asked, who is passing by? They told him it is the relics of St. Matthew. The blind man ran away. He ran away because he knows that he will be healed. He doesn't want to be healed. He wants to continue to beg. So first of all, are you comfortable with your blindness? If you're not comfortable with your blindness, you begin to seek for a solution. You conquer yourself. You are not ashamed of yourself. You have resolved to seek for a solution. The crowd, you begin to make effort. People will begin to discourage you. Leave that thing. Forget about it. Are you sure you are going to do it? External distraction entering. Are you going to succumb? Many people had succumbed to external distraction. But the blind man did not succumb. He said, Jesus, have mercy on me. They told him, keep quiet. And he said, Jesus! Look at the consistency. The gospel said he began to cry, and they rebuked him. He cried more. Some of you, they will tell you, keep quiet, and you keep quiet. And you are blind. The person telling you to keep quiet, remember, is not blind. How many times had you been discouraged? Had you been distracted by external distraction? You remember, you are not calling the crowd, you are calling Jesus. And eventually, it will be your faith that will save you. It is not the faith of the crowd. At the end of the reading, Jesus said, your faith is not the faith of the crowd. Why are you going to be distracted? The person you are calling is the person who deals gently with you, like in the second reading. You are not calling the crowd. You are not calling the man. Jesus deals gently as a high priest with you because he knows where it pinches you. That will bring us to the first reading, the promise of restoration, the promise of consolation, and the promise of healing. Jeremiah. Jesus, it was a prophecy, and when you read the first reading going down, it said, even the blind and the lame shall be brought back. The mothers and those with child. This is prophecy when the Israelites were in exiles. As I said before, many people could be in exile, but they are comfortable with their exile. It's only when you begin to cry out, you conquer yourself, you know who you are calling, you begin to cry out. You have determined to seek for a solution. And even when people are downplaying your effort to seek for a solution for your challenges, do not be distracted.